What is up, car addicts? In this video, I'll be talking about this week's Trip Money Event Week as well as the property and vehicle discounts. This event week is for August 31st through September 6th, 2023, and is themed around nightclubs this week. In terms of new content for this week, we unfortunately did not receive anything new. However, remember that we only have two drip feed vehicles left for this DLC, which are the Hot Ring Hellfire and the Brigham. Again, the Hot Ring Hellfire should be releasing on September 14th, which is when the GTA Plus benefits change, and then the Brigham, which is the last car, will most likely be releasing in mid-October for the Halloween theme. But anyways, the current prize ride for this week is the OG Infernus, a pretty interesting choice from Rockstar, and it is a removed website car that used to cost $440,000. It's primarily based on the Lamborghini Murcielago mixed with the Pagani Zonda. To get it for free, you have to place top 4 in an LS Carmate Series race for only 2 days in a row, so very easy this week. In regards to performance, this car is in the supercar class and is a below average performing vehicle in that class, which is to be expected for an OG supercar. Continuing to test drive vehicles for this week, we have the Brioso 300, the Vision, and the GB200 as well, and none of these are removed website cars, so keep that in mind. And for current gen console users, we have the HSW Vigero ZX as the HSW test ride vehicle for this week. Continuing to the casino podium vehicle, we have the Schlagen GT. This vehicle is primarily based on the first generation Mercedes AMG GT, and it has a normal price of $1.3 million. In regards to performance, this one is in a sports class and is an above average performing sports car. I absolutely love the way this thing sounds, the way it drives, the customization, pretty much everything about it. I highly recommend trying to win this car if you don't own it already. I guarantee you will love it. In terms of the dealership cars for this week, for luxury autos we have the Scramjet, which is pretty weird to see on here. But anyways, we also have the Tesseract, and neither of these are removed website cars, so keep that in mind. Continuing to Simeons, we have the Issy Sport, the Zion Classic, the Viserys, the Tulip, and then to Class A Lifeguard as well. And all of these were removed website cars, so make sure to pick these up if you've been wanting to get one. Moving on to discounts, in terms of property discounts, we have 40% off the nightclubs as well as 40% off the upgrades, renovations, and the business upgrades for them as well. So definitely make sure to get one this week if you don't already own one. Also, we have 40% off the Terabyte as well, which is a requirement if you want to install upgrades on the Oppressor Mark II, and you also need the nightclub to buy the Terabyte. So if you've been wanting to get those two things, this is definitely the week to do it. Continuing to vehicle discounts, we have 40% off the Tulip from Simeons, which again was a removed website car. So this car is in the muscle car class and is an awesome car to drive with good customization as well. Plus it also has some pretty good performance, being an above average performing muscle car. This thing is one heck of a sleeper. I think it's a fantastic car, especially for its price. Next up, we have 50% off the Zion Classic from Simeons, which again was a removed website car. This thing is in the Sports Classics class and is a top 10 performing car on most tracks in this class. It has great customization and is a very fun car to drive as well in general. Also, we have 40% off the Class A Lifeguard as well, which also was a removed website vehicle. However, there's no reason to spend over $500,000 on this one when you can actually sort of get it off the street for free. So you will need a friend that owns one, and then you can bring it to the beach, and that will force one to spawn there for free that you can actually store. Now you can store it for free. However, if you want to put the insurance on it, that's going to cost you $108,000, but it's still way less than the price of $500,000 with this discount. Moving on to Legendary Motorsport website, we have 40% off the Tesseract. So this car is in the supercar class and is an electric car that has mid-tier performance. It has a good customization. However, it does have these slow handling flags, which sort of ruins the driving experience. Even on an electric car, it goes a lot slower over bumps and stuff. And a fun fact about this car is that catch up and races actually does not affect it for some reason, so that's pretty wild. Next up, we have 40% off the Free Crawler. So this vehicle is in the off-roads class and is actually an above average performing vehicle in the class, plus it has great customization, but personally I've never been too much of a fan of the looks, but that's all personal preference. Next up, onto the Southern San Andreas website, we have 40% off the Impaler. It's an above average performing muscle car, it's super fun to drive and has great customization as well. I absolutely love this one. Continuing, we have 50% off the Festival Bus. So this one is pretty useless, but I guess if you have friends that listen to in-game music, I guess you can probably park it somewhere at an event or something and blast your favorite music, but whether or not that's worth almost 700,000 is fully up to you. Personally, I don't think so. Next up, onto the Warstock website, we have 40% off the Menacer. So this one takes 23 homing missiles to blow up, which is great, but personally I don't see a reason to own this one when the Insurgent Pickup Custom and the Night Shark take 27 homing missiles to blow up, which is an extra 4. Plus they're nicer to drive, faster, and cheaper as well. Continuing, we have 30% off the Scramjet. So this one is super fun to do stunts with since it has the jump and of course the boost function, plus it has homing missiles, although I do personally prefer the Toreador since you don't have to worry about accidentally landing in water and destroying the car, but the Scramjet is still an amazing vehicle. And lastly, onto the Arena War website, we have 40% off the Arena War Impaler. Normally this arena conversion upgrade would be over 1.2 million, so with the discount it would be about 700,000 this week. Now personally I prefer the regular Impaler, but I do have to admit that the Arena Impaler looks very cool with that large rear looking drag tire setup. I think that thing is sick. Moving on to the gun van, we have the following weapons available this week. In regards to rewards this week, if you purchase and pop open a bottle of champagne this week, you'll unlock the Blutered t-shirt. And if you complete a Nightclub management mission and a Nightclub source good mission from Johan, you'll unlock the Pinned Flames livery for the recently added Vapid Click wagon, which is pretty cool. Continuing to triple money, we have triple money NRP on Nightclub daily income from your safe this week. And for double money, we have double money NRP on Arena War this week, continuing for the 3rd week in a row. Also, we have double money NRP on the Adversary Mode Trading Places remix. And lastly, the best for last, we have double money NRP on the Nightclub business sales, which is amazing. This is huge money for those of you who've been stocking up your products. Plus, we have double popularity boost on Nightclub popularity missions this week as well. And lastly, for the time trials, this week's normal time trial is Vinewood Bull. I highly recommend a car with a high top speed or quick bike for this one. For the premium race this week, we have the Supercar Race Cutting Co-Warners. I highly recommend the Emerus, Krieger, or LM87 for this race. And if you're on current gen, I highly recommend using the HSW Weaponized Ignis or the HSW Cyclone 2. And lastly, for current gen console users, the HSW time trial is Textile City. As always, the HSW Hakuchu Drag will be the best one for these. In terms of my vehicle discount pick of the week, I'm going to have to go with the Scramjet. While it's still an expensive vehicle, with all the great special abilities that it has, and at under 3 million with this discount, I think it's a pretty solid deal for what you're getting. Anyways guys, overall this event week is actually pretty good. Double money on the Nightclub business, double money on Arena War, plus some pretty decent discounts as well, the Nightclub, Terabyte and all that. But anyways guys, thanks for watching, hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.